Well, what is up, guys? Hopefully you're all having, I hope you all had a good day. So I'm sure you guys will have seen this. It's been all over the news. Today, unfortunately, there was a horrendous incident in Manchester this morning. Around 10 a.m., a 3-year-old girl walking with her parents. They were walking down Mosley Street in the city centre, and a van crashed into a tram, and the van rebounded off the tram and unfortunately hit the 3-year-old girl. Now, she was obviously taken to hospital, but unfortunately she died from her injuries. Now, obviously this is extremely heartbreaking. But obviously it's hard to, talk about things like this. I mean, it's just, horrendous for any child to lose their life in those kind of circumstances, and it just goes to show how cruel life can really be sometimes, obviously, and how, life can just change in an instant. I mean, obviously, I can't imagine how our parents are feeling right now, obviously, that our parents' lives have just been turned completely upside down. Their whole world has just been turned upside down, and their lives just been shattered completely by this horrendous event. Obviously, police are still hunting for the driver. They've not arrested the driver yet. I mean, the driver. I mean, is it dangerous driving? I don't know, because obviously we don't know what's caused the van to collide with the tram. Um, Obviously, you're sort of looking at this and you're thinking, well, how the hell has someone managed to crash a van into a tram? Like, you don't. That's not something you see every day, and it's like, how has someone managed to do that? Because it's probably a really stupid thing to do. And obviously, as I said, the van's hit the tram, it's rebounded off the tram, and it's hit the young girl. I mean, it's just horrendous. Like, 3 years old, and her life has just been cut so tragically short. She obviously she barely started living her life. She had, I mean, her whole, she'd only just, started her childhood years. And she's had the rest of her life just taken away from her like that. Like, it's just horrendously tragic. Like, there's nothing good that can be said about this. It's just so horrible that a child has lost their life in these extremely tragic these extremely tragic set of circumstances. This is the thing, these circumstances are extremely tragic. The young child has lost her life in that way. I mean, I don't know what to say. It's just horrendous. So it happened around 10 a.m. this morning. I was thinking, it was a blooming good thing that, obviously, it's Man City are playing at home tomorrow. But it's a good job that Manchester United weren't playing at home today. Because that would have fucked everyone. That would have fucked up the fans trying to get to Old Trafford. That would have obviously caused a lot of problems. Because I don't think the whole tram, although I don't think the whole tram network was shut down. I don't think the tram network was shut down completely after this incident. But I think I think part of the line was closed, obviously due to the circumstances of what happened, and obviously being a crime scene. I'm assuming that section of the line will be reopened tomorrow, but I mean, it may even be reopened now, I don't know, but obviously people will be going out into the city centre tonight, but going to the pubs, and the people who are going out to the city centre, completely unaware of what happened this morning, completely unaware of the tragedy that unfolded in the city centre this morning, obviously in which a child has lost their life. It's just, it's so horrible, to put you really, it's just, when you see these sort of things, it does make you feel somewhat sad, because no child ever deserves to lose their life in those sort of circumstances, and no parent ever deserves to lose a child in those set of circumstances. Obviously, no parent deserves to be planning their child's funeral. That's not something that any parent should ever have to do. Um, as I said, I can't begin to really imagine how our parents are feeling right now, because obviously they've got to kind of process this and take it all in and had to come to terms with what's happened, the fact that their daughter's been taken from them just like that. They would never have expected that was going to happen today. They wouldn't have woken up this morning thinking, our little girl's going to die today. They just went out, they were walking down the road, and bam, that happens. And it talked about, life. Talk about life throwing the most unexpected things at people in the most unexpected times. And as I said, it just goes to show how, how cruel life can be, and it just goes to show how life really can change in an instant. Sometimes it can change in a good way, but sometimes it can change in a bad way, like obviously what's happened today. And I'm sure that, everyone involved in this incident will be absolutely devastated. Like, the van driver, I'm hoping the van driver is feeling very guilty about what happened. As it was obviously the van driver's fault, as it was the van driver that crashed into the tram. Was he speeding? Was he distracted? Who knows? No, obviously, it's just a thing, like, no one really knows the circumstances of what happened. All that's really known, the basic facts are that a van crashed into a tram, and then rebounded off the tram and hit the 3-year-old girl, who unfortunately died from her injuries in hospital, which is obviously, it's a murder, really. I guess maybe, I don't know if that's actually classed as murder, but I would say it's, is it, I would guess it's classed as causing death by dangerous driving. I guess that's what it would be viewed as. And, I don't think it would be viewed as murder, but I think it would be causing death by dangerous driving. As it probably, chances are it probably was dangerous driving of some sort. Or it's like, how do he was either speeding, he was either distracted by something, or he was under the influence of something. That's the only three reasons that the van driver crashed into a tram. Because it's like, how's it, this is what doesn't make sense, is how the fuck has the van driver even managed to do that? How has the van driver even managed to crash his van into a flipping tram? It's just, it doesn't make sense. And it's not something you see every day, like, you don't hear about every day. I bet there probably were people on the tram, they were probably, like, shaken up as well. The tram driver's probably, like, shaken up as well. But at the end of the day, the tram driver has nothing to feel guilty about because he did nothing wrong. It's not his fault that this 3-year-old girl has lost her life. It's the fault of the van driver. The van driver I'm assuming the van driver probably did do something wrong. Probably he was, as I said, he was probably either speeding, possibly could have been driving under the influence, he could have been distracted by something. It'll be a whole number of things. Maybe, I dare I say, maybe it was a medical issue. But who knows? As obviously, as I'm sure, there obviously will be a lot of investigations into what happened. Police will be looking into it. We know that they're obviously still looking for the driver. They've not arrested the driver yet. That has been confirmed. But it won't be long until the driver gets arrested. They will find him, and they will have him for that. It's his actions are basically, it's at the end of the day, the van driver's actions have led to a 3-year-old child losing their life. And that's the biggest thing you take from this, is the fact that a 3-year-old child has lost their life in that sort of in that set of circumstances. And her parents' lives have just been completely and utterly shattered. It's like, how do you, it's like, as a parent, it's like, how do you even recover from this? Like, how do you even begin to come to terms with something like this? I don't even know how parents can do this. How do they even begin to comprehend what's happened? It's going to take them a very long time to get their heads around what's happened and fully come to terms with it. As it was such a sudden thing. It was something that they never ever expected to happen. They didn't know it was going to happen. They had never known that was going to happen. They would never have expected to lose their beloved daughter, their beloved daughter today. But that's exactly what's happened, and the van driver, in my opinion, does deserve to feel guilty because their actions have resulted in the death of a child. Simple as that, But yeah, I thought I would give my thoughts on that and kind of talk about what happened. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you for another one soon. Bye bye.